Hey everybody, find the boys on Facebook by searching The Longbox, a month in comics, and follow them on Twitter at The Longbox MIC.
Hello and welcome to the Longbox, the Road to Infinity War. I'm Doug.
I'm Danny Holmes. I'm back again.
Third week in a row. Okay, and this week we are doing Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah.
That's Joe Johnston's movie from 2011. What were your thoughts going into this movie when it came out?
When it came out,
Yeah.
I wasn't actually looking forward to it too much because I'm not a fan of too much hoorah America shit.
Yeah, you didn't
and
like.
I thought this movie's called Captain America.
It was going to be too
this
like
is going to be
on the nose.
He's the greatest American that's ever lived.
Yeah.
And all that. So really low expectations. I've got to be honest. But excited for where the universe was going. Obviously, at this point, I'm fully involved in the fucking universe.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that we were getting Avengers after this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was at a weird place with this. I can't quite remember exactly where I was.
I was the same. Like after Thor, which I didn't love, I was just like, okay, this is the last piece of the puzzle we need to get done before we get Avengers.
Yeah.
And although my expectations was not high at all for Avengers,
yeah,
I really liked it as an experiment. I was like, oh, this is a gimmick, isn't it? That we're doing like, 4 standalone movies, and was it 4 or 5 standalone movies?
Yeah.
Well, we won't count Iron Man
4
2.
characters.
Yeah. 4 standalone movies, and then we're getting the event then they're all going to meet in one movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I really liked that as an experiment or as a gimmick. I was like, okay, this has never been done before. So I was behind the project. I thought it was kind of cute, and I just saw this as just another building block. We just got to get it done. And I always viewed it as that as well. It's like, oh yeah, okay, some of them are not so good, and some of them are good, but that's okay because the good ones carry the rest. And it just feels like extracurricular sort of thing. Like once you get to Avengers, because I didn't think the Avengers was going to blow up like it did.
Yeah.
I thought the Avengers was going to be the last one.
Yeah.
I did actually think it was going to be the last one, especially the way that that Iron Man 2 was received. I was like, these aren't going anywhere. Like, Avengers is going to roll this up, and then we got this nice little 6-movie universe.
Yeah.
Just...
How cool will that be?
Yeah, exactly. Little did I know. So this movie was just another step in the it just needed... It was just a means to an end so I can get there sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I was watching it just to see any bits that I needed to know to fill in the missing parts for the Avengers. But I actually quite fucking like this movie.
I loved it, and Captain America might be my favourite character of the Avengers.
I think, regardless of favourite or not, he is the best.
Yeah.
He is the best.
Because I fully believe, Chris Evans really makes me fully believe that this guy is doing everything with all of his heart, just trying to do what's right.
He is Captain America in the same way that Christopher Reeve is Superman.
Right.
He embodies it, and no one else will be able to be Steve Rogers. Like, to the point where it almost feels like it's the other way around, isn't it? Where Chris Evans is his alter ego, and he really is Steve Rogers. Because since he's got into that shape as well, he's never dropped it.
No,
like he's just been Steve Rogers since that's happened. And I'll get into, as I always do, I'll get into the problems I have with this movie, and I do think that Phase 1 of Marvel does have teething problems.
Yeah.
And this movie is not the exception, but I think that the first half of this movie is fucking grand and doesn't actually get the respect that it deserves.
Yeah.
I think.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Just whilst we're on the subject of Chris Evans stuff, I read something briefly today where Chris Evans has come out recently saying, or a couple of weeks ago, saying that Downey Jr. is irreplaceable as
Captain Iron Man. Yeah.
And someone sort of commented, I read some comments on it, someone saying, no one's irreplaceable as anything, you just rest the character for a few years and then recast. I can see that for most people. I actually cannot see another Captain America.
No.
Another
Steve Rogers. Agreed.
We could obviously have Bucky's Captain America, or even a completely fucking new Captain America. Fine.
Yeah.
But no.
To be fair, I don't think that's needed.
Rogers
if you're not going to have a Steve Rogers, there's nothing. People talk about this with Batman as well. It's like, oh yeah, we can have a Dick Grayson Batman. No. The whole point in that character is, it's not the fact it's a guy in a fucking cape and the fucking in the cowl. It's the fact it's Bruce Wayne who went through what he does, and it's like his self-motivation.
No, I don't think so, actually. I think you're wrong with that, because I think, to us, we know that Bruce Wayne is the ultimate Batman.
Yeah.
But to the criminal...
Yeah.
You know, Batman is a symbol.
Okay, if you're making that film, if you're
it.
making a standalone Dick Grayson movie,
yeah,
you then have to lean on Gotham and how strong those villains are then.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I'm not as compelled by Dick Grayson. He's a fun character.
Yeah.
But what I love about Batman is the self motivation and the self drive of Bruce Wayne, and that's what I find compelling about
Bruce Wayne. You're saying the key element there is Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
But Batman as a symbol, I think you could.
Yeah, but then you're telling it from an outsider. Then we're just viewing it through the. What I'm trying to say is then the scenes in the cave where it's Dick, who cares? Like, I'm not getting there.
Yeah, no, good point.
Yeah.
You know, but you just have him go somewhere else. It doesn't just because he's Batman. That symbol, he can fucking go back to his apartment.
Okay. I think you're misunderstanding what I'm trying to say. I don't want to follow Dick Grayson. I don't want to follow anyone else but Bruce Wayne.
Well, let's get off Batman then. Let's go back to Steve Rogers.
Okay, so now bring that around to Steve Rogers.
Yeah, so I think Captain America as a symbol.
Yeah. What? So you think in Avengers 8, you're happy to see someone out like Falcon running around with the shield? Yeah. Yes. I just don't see what that would bring to us. The fact is, I'm backing Steve Rogers. If it's not Steve Rogers,
I think because I've read a lot of when it came out the Sam Wilson Captain America run, which was fantastic, and that was about the symbol of Captain America.
Okay.
And obviously,
so you have to make the film about that. Then you'd have to, the plot of the movie would have to be
the first movie, definitely.
Yeah,
I think you could then continue.
I'm not Steve Rogers, but I've got to take on.
But I am
lessons.
the symbolism of freedom and all that shit.
So back to this movie.
Sorry.
Then. Yeah, okay. Pre-credit scene pre-credit opening starts with them finding Captain America in modern day.
Yes.
It seems to be kind of a motif so far in Phase 1. A lot of their movies have started halfway through the story and flashing back. That is how Iron Man 1 starts. That's how
Thor starts, yeah.
And that's how this movie starts. So it was
Hulk doesn't that.
And neither does Iron Man 2. No. But the other 3 do.
Okay, I didn't actually.
Yeah. And they were the 3 that we've never met before in cinematic. It's because the Hulk, everyone's quite familiar with that.
Yeah.
And as I said in my Hulk episode, it almost works as a sequel to Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah.
And Iron Man 2 we already established that character, but with these characters, for some reason they felt it was fun to do this whole. And so I would say it's necessary for Iron Man to do it. With this, I just think it's quite fun to be like, okay, this is where we're heading to. Now let's go back and show you the story. I don't know why they do it with Thor. Maybe just to go, don't worry guys, we're getting them to Earth.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but yeah, it just seemed to be something that they really enjoyed doing in these movies.
Is it just to introduce all the characters straight away?
I think so.
They're all there.
Well, it is in Thor, but not in this, because none of the characters in that opening credit scene ever show up again. They're all nobodies.
Yeah, no, of course it is, yeah.
Okay.
Is it just so not to jar you when at the end of the movie?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that's exactly it, because you're watching a period piece and you would be like, what the fuck now? What just happened? Am I watching The Village? What the fuck has just happened? Yeah. But
actually, thinking about it, how amazing would it have been if we didn't fucking know, and then you get that scene where Steve wakes up.
Yeah, and we're still in on it.
1943.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? That would have been great.
I wonder, there was probably those talks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to rattle through my notes. I love all the Nazi sci-fi shit in this movie.
Yep.
Like, it adds to its own aesthetic. It doesn't feel like I'm watching an Indiana Jones movie or a generic... Like, they set up from scene 1 when we're in the 40s of, like, this is not the World War II that you know. This is this science fiction MCU version of World War.
Yeah.
And we have this ridiculously long car that the Red Skull drives in. You have these tanks that are 8 times the size of normal tanks.
Yeah.
They have like the fucking spy submarine at one point, and then his ridiculous helicopter rocket ship, one-man rocket ship. Like, I love all that kind of like.
It's amazing. Isn't
it? All that.
I wish we'd see more of that. Actually.
Yeah. I don't know. It almost felt like the way that people in the 40s would have drawn fucking astronauts and stuff, just ridiculous designs, and I fucking love all of that. I think that it really adds to the look of the film.
Yeah.
And in fact, I would say that the whole film feels kind of old-timely and classic just kind of the way the dialogue's written and the way it's shot and the score.
It's sort of got that sort of haze.
Yeah.
It's lit with like a haze. I don't know what
you
call it
in
the biz, but it does look like it could be a remastered movie from the 40s.
Exactly, and it makes it an instant classic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And just the choices that they make and the earnestness in the characters almost feels like we do when we sit down and watch, I don't know, fucking Superman.
Yeah.
I keep going back to Superman. It just have that whole kind of like, oh, he can leap buildings with a single bound, and like the way that they animate. You know, there's that scene. I'll go back to it when we get to there in order, but where Steve gets his powers and he's like leaping over the cars.
Fences,
it's very much, and the fence, of course. Yeah, it feels very much like of that time.
Yeah,
and I just think like they really worked well on kind of making an old style feeling film. When they, I just looking at my notes here, when they use the cube for the first time, I'm jumping a little bit ahead here, but you know when they take the cube back to Zemo's.
Not Zemo.
Well, Red Skull's place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Schmidt's place, but isn't it Baron? No, it's not Zemo.
It's not Zemo.
It's Zola.
Zola.
Yeah, Zola.
Armin Zola.
Yeah, Zola plugs it into his weapons for the first time, and you see it power up, and it makes these screaming noises. I don't know what that is. Like, was that something? Is it something to do with the Infinity Stone that's in there? Do you know which Infinity Stone's in there?
It's the Space Stone, isn't it?
Oh, it's the Space Stone. Yeah, I just didn't know what that was representing, and I've never picked up on that before, but it sounded like spirits were coming out, and I was like, what the fuck is going on
I
here?
don't know. I've never noticed that actually. But yes, the Space Stone, isn't it? That's why it transports.
Perhaps, yeah. I don't know my Infinity Stones at all.
So I think it does. That's what opens the doorway to space, I think.
Cool.
Although they play it as if it's Power Stone, but that's in Guardians, don't they? Because like this thing will power our weapons. This is ultimate power. They use it quite a lot. That sort of phrase.
Yeah, so, but I just think they all have.
It just has
As the Weekly
They
Planet,
don't mean power as in powerful. They mean literally.
It's just
power attached.
And like a battery.
Yeah.
As the Weekly Planet always says, though, we don't need to get too caught up in what Infinity Stones what, because they're all just going to shoot beams.
Coloured lasers.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares? Like, yeah. Like I said, I'm just going to jump through my notes and jump through. Isn't Tommy Lee Jones amazing in this movie?
Why is it, Doug? Why is it every time that I go back to this movie, I forget that Tommy Lee Jones is in the MCU, and then as soon as I see him, I go, oh yeah, he's the best thing about this movie.
He's
or
fucking
one of
fantastic.
the best things about this movie.
His wit in this movie.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Like every time he's on screen, and just every line that he has is just beautiful. I love that one where, I can't remember what it was with Peggy, where he's just like, if you got something to say, this is the right time not to fucking mention it, or something along those lines.
This is perfect time to keep it yourself.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like,
it doesn't even look at her.
Yeah.
It doesn't even look at her.
No.
He's just like pointing at her, just keep it yourself.
I'm really glad, because this must have just felt like a paycheck for him when he signed up, like without any expectations. And I'm really glad he bought it.
Yeah.
Like, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm like so chuffed that he's in there.
Do you think he was making up for Batman?
Yeah, maybe. No, but I don't think. I think when you were signing up for these movies, I know Iron Man was a success, so maybe they were like, do you want to be in the next Iron Man? Like, this is in that universe sort of thing.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Why the fuck would he sign up for another superhero?
I don't know. No.
I don't know, but I'm glad he did. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, even
I was saying this to my
everything
wife.
he says with wit is fantastic. Even my kids walked in when I was watching the last of this recently, and they pissed themselves at that bit at the end where Cap kisses Peggy. I've jumped right to the end here. Where Cap kisses Peggy, and then he looks at Tommy Lee Jones, he goes, well, I ain't kissing you. My kid's fucking cracked up at that, and that just made me so happy.
Yeah, like trans, yeah.
Yeah.
Because one of my favourite Tommy Lee Jones performances is the first Men in Black movie.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're going back to that.
Yeah.
Like, he can have some fun in this kind of lighthearted movie. I was talking to my wife about this. I wonder if he signed up knowing that it was a period piece, and therefore he wouldn't have to go back and, it was just the one he was in. So it's like, I can do this because it's not a commitment. And that's fine.
It must have been a nice paycheck too.
Because I must say, that's one thing that I am a little bit gutted about this movie, is they assemble such an amazing cast.
Yeah.
That then we don't get to double dip on.
No.
And I know that they tried to in TV shows and cameos and stuff like that, but it's just a shit, because it's one of the strongest supporting casts in one of these movies.
Yeah, definitely. Like with they try, like say, in Agent Carter.
Yeah.
The first series.
They bring the Howling Commandos in it, don't they?
Yeah. And then I was just thinking, like, I don't know how they're going to do it, but the second series is obviously going to have Tommy Lee Jones in it. And
Yeah,
it's going to be this.
Yeah,
It's gonna be that. This
hope,
is going to be like, oh my god, this could be the best thing in the fucking world.
Yeah.
And then they go to LA.
Yeah.
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 I'm so glad they found so many ways to bring back Peggy Carter.
I think Peggy Carter is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I love Hayley Atwell so much. She might be my favourite love interest in the MCU.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because she's a soldier herself and she's fighting the war alongside Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
you can completely buy her, don't you?
And I don't know if it's because I spent so much time with her in Agent Carter and the character's probably, I've got higher opinion of that character than maybe if you just watch the movies. But
I don't know, man, because I think we were all in love with her before then. That's why she got the series.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I always everyone has that argument like who's the best love interest, and people think it's Gwyneth Paltrow, and
no, it's Peggy.
She's
Peggy. Because I don't want to jump ahead too much, but she's fucking heartbreaking in Winter Soldier as well.
Yes, yeah, I agree. Yeah. And in fact, even I complained last week about like I don't buy the love. They've only known the Jane and Thor. Yeah. With this, when they're having that conversation about the dance, like meet me and choose, and it's heartbreaking. They really sell that for me, like.
Yeah. But your complaint about this movie is the second part being a montage, so let's not forget that quite a bit of time has passed in this movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's true. It's not just 2 days.
It's not clear how long it is, but it's a few months at the very least.
Yes, and we'll get to that. There is a point in this movie where I think it just kind of falls off a cliff.
Yeah.
But let's stick with the strong stuff for now. The boot camp stuff is fucking brilliant as well. Like that, I'm really glad they take their time to spend so much time with Steve Rogers before he becomes Captain America, and no more than in the boot camp stuff, like where we get to meet him with Peggy. And by the way, how fucking amazing is that CGI?
I'm glad you brought that up because I was trying to find a way to tell you that because it's just popped in my head. Oh, first time I watched this at the cinema. Second time I watched this was at home with my mum, and she thought that when he's big was CGI.
Oh, really?
Because he looks so good.
Yeah.
Small.
Yeah.
And then. Like,
ridiculous.
It comes out the thing and she's like, that looks ridiculous. I'm like, no, that's really fucking him.
Yeah.
This was CGI before, she would not fucking believe me.
So was it they got a small actor and then mapped his face on top of him?
I don't know, but they even make his face skinny somehow. So it's not just his fucking big head sat there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Because when I was watching it, it's like, did we... No, originally, because we knew Chris Evans at the time as a smaller guy. So it was like, obviously not that small.
Yeah.
But I was like, did they shoot some shit with Hobbit style angles or something before, or did he lose loads of weight? And like
no.
I
just think it's
it's just CGI. Which the MCU really get credited really well for their de-aging and how great their CGI is for that sort of manipulation. This needs to be put on that list as well. It looks flawless.
It does.
I cannot see any scenes in it.
No.
And again, I've mentioned in other episodes, Marvel up to this point had been really good at kind of hiding maybe less than perfect CGI by shooting scenes in the dark and kind of tricks like that. No, this is fucking flat out daylight. Like, He just looks.
There is a scene. I think there is a scene in the car on the way to the super soldier thing. He does look a fraction too small. He looks like a child.
Yeah.
But
so I've heard people comment on this on another podcast, and they had mentioned this because he looks that small compared to Carter.
Right.
And maybe it doesn't help, how can I say this without being rude? Hayley Atwell was a voluptuous woman.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
She's a normal sized woman.
Yes,
It's the easiest way to say it, because she is.
And maybe that doesn't help with the situation.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, so, yeah. I think that scene has been pointed out to me in numerous occasions.
Oh, okay.
He does look like a fucking child.
I'd never heard that criticism before, and I only noticed on this viewing. Like,
that scene in particular, and I don't know if it's
even to the point I think I noticed Hayley Atwell. She looks up at one point, to where he's not.
Okay.
Oh, is that because Chris Evans is there?
Yeah, and then she's not. Okay, I think it might have something to do with the fact that we're starting to buy them as a couple as well, even at that point.
Yeah,
and to see their size difference perhaps is alien. But apart from that, I think it looks great. Yeah. Anything on the boot camp stuff? Obviously, I love the scene with the flag.
Yeah, and the grenade.
Yeah, the grenade thing is amazing. Yeah, and the way that Tommy Lee Jones deals with that.
I don't know. I'm not sure on the Tommy Lee Jones thing on it because he doesn't. It's not.
He shrugs it off, doesn't he? Still small.
No. The throwing of the grenade.
Yeah.
It's not. he should have made it look like an accident. It's just a little thing that just it doesn't annoy me, but it just
Do you think that would confuse the audience if you shot it that way? Like the audience is like, well, did he accidentally? Like you have to make it clear.
No, he could look at fucking Doctor. What's he called? Erskine? Something. Look at Stanley Tucci and fucking grab the grenade and sort of go like, watch this, and then make it look like an accident. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he just goes grenade.
Yeah.
So why would everybody go? He's fucking trying to kill us here.
I bought it that no one was watching him.
Yeah, maybe.
And then so they did think it was an accident.
Okay, fine.
And he shouts grenade.
I'm fine with that because it's amazing.
Yeah. And just his reaction to that was, like I said, when I was watching with my wife, I was like, Steve Rogers is not protecting, like his body is not, it's going to be like it's not there. Like, that guy is so small.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, a great scene. All the boot camp stuff is good, and it really builds. That's what makes Captain America work as a character. Is we get to see Steve Rogers be a hero before the power.
Yeah,
and that's what makes all great heroes. Is the fact that it's not their power that makes them a hero. It's who is controlling that power.
Yeah, exactly.
And like jumping ahead, like speculating with Infinity War, if we're doing some sort of time travel stuff, I was thinking when I was watching this last night that like I wouldn't mind going back to that version of Steve Rogers if we could.
Yeah.
Like I don't know in what way and what context, but that'd be fun to see a depowered Steve Rogers for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, maybe. Or maybe in the future or something. Like have a, because there's a scene in this where Bucky's like, he's explaining to Bucky what's happened to him. It's like, is it permanent? He's like, so far. It's like, how fucked up would it be? They've done it in the comics where like the super serum wears off.
Yeah, and he just becomes old and not very strong.
Yeah. Like, I wonder how cool it would be to, like, if he is to retire as Captain America, Chris Evans, how nice it would be for him to retire back being Steve.
Batman Beyond him.
Yeah.
Have him in the chair. Have him.
I mean, I don't like the idea of aging him particularly. I like the idea of him kind of just losing his power and him being, whatever age he was when he got it, when he was frozen. Or so in his 40s because of the 10 years that he's then being outside of the ice, and then just kind of farewell as he's not Captain America anymore. He's just little Steve Rogers, because I like little Steve Rogers. Like he's a good man. And I'm basically what I'm going to say about this movie is Wonder Woman came out this year and gets so much praise for its setup and its it's setting its time period and the way the character's dealt with and how much time we spent with this character. This film gets brushed aside, but it does the same stuff, in my opinion. Like, I think it is, the first half, anyway, is just as strong.
Yeah, I like the fact that at the end Peggy keeps a picture of little Steve.
Yes, well. Yeah. Well, yeah, because that just sums up the kind of, there's no, what's the word? It's not about his looks.
It's not physical.
Yeah, it's not visual attraction.
Like you say, you were buying them as a couple in the chair.
Yeah.
In the car, sorry.
And I think that's important because if the relationship blossomed when he was big Steve Rogers, you'd think that she was a little bit shallow.
Yeah.
Quick question on the Red Skull.
Yep.
Who made those masks that look absolutely amazing? So he has a rubber mask that looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Because it looks human. And I just want to take that on. This is the thing. It's Schmidt, isn't it? Yeah. So Schmidt is played by Hugo Weaving, and we see that in the flashbacks when the doctor's telling Steve Rogers the story about his first experiment on Schmidt.
Yeah.
So we see Hugo Weaving playing Schmidt. Then he turns into the Red Skull. Then he's wearing a mask that looks exactly like Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Why?
Hugo Weaving should be... Because who can make a fucking... This is not Mission Impossible. Who can make a mask that looks exactly... In the 40s, that looks exactly the same as what you did look like. Like, I would have bought it more is if Hugo Weaving played the mask. And when we see the flashbacks, it's another actor.
That looks a bit like Hugo Weaving.
Yeah. Then they made a mask because I've always said this about Mission Impossible as well, and I know they've lent into it by the time by Mission Impossible 4 they've really lent into the technology and it becomes the gimmick of it, but they don't in the first Mission Impossible. I can buy that you can make a rubber mask that looks like a person, a person, but not one that looks like a specific person.
No, so I will one up that by we're supposed to believe that the Red Skull's skull is his fucking skull.
Yeah.
So his face shape is there.
Yeah.
So surely you could just pour coloured latex over that and it's going to look pretty much like what you used to.
Okay. Like when they do the build-up.
That's how I buy it.
Yeah, okay.
because he at one point it slips and he just pushes it back up.
Okay. Yeah, in the same way they do the skulls and turn it into, you can see what your ancestors look like from the skull, and they can build it up, and apparently that's what he looks like. Yeah, maybe you're right. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we've got some muscles in our face that are missing, but you know.
But again, that's the same thing with Red Skull. Is he's not quite a skull because he's still got muscle under there, and his eyes.
What's he supposed to be in the comics?
Some people animate. It depends how the animation, how you want to animate him. But generally, what he looks like in the film is pretty spot on. There are some people who have done it like a Red Skull, and then his eyes, so he hasn't got any eyelids and stuff like that. Which I prefer that as a design, but it's hard to do. You'd have to do fucking.
It looked like fucking Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Ghost Rider. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked dumb as shit.
Yeah. But it looks great. It looks really menacing in the comic book. Like I absolutely buy it as a design in the comic book.
Okay, so it's more of like a like a sunken, burnt.
Yeah.
Face.
A bit like.
Excuse me.
Although it's you've seen the animated film Under the Red Hood.
Mm.
You know how they do Black Mask in that. You're not quite sure what's going on there.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. It looks a bit like that. Yeah. But yeah, I don't mind for a cinematic design. This is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to your query. I don't know, Zola.
Yeah,
Seems to make everything
I
else
suppose
work.
that's fine. If we're having 10-foot tanks, why not?
Yeah, why not a decent latex mask?
Yeah. I must say that Howard Stark in this movie feels really like integrated. It doesn't feel like a tacky Easter egg or oh, you like Iron Man? This is his dad.
Yeah.
He feels like a necessary character, a necessary part to the story. It does not feel like he's tacked on in any way. Like I'm really chuffed about that. And
yeah, the only thing that I still gets me to this day, and the trouble is I love the actor, is surely they should have cast him before, so that we could have had what's his name, Dominic Cooper in the an aged up Dominic Cooper in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, a lot of people say that they just can't believe that Dominic Cooper becomes the dude from Mad Men.
Yeah, it's something. It's not Slattery, is it?
Yeah, I don't know the actor's name, but yeah. Yeah, because they just don't. Although they both feel like Tony's. I buy that both of them are Tony's. Dad. I don't buy that they're the same character.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. They're different. They feel like different versions of Howard Stark, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why not put the other guy in Captain America though, and young him down a bit?
Yeah,
I suppose they weren't doing it then.
Yeah, and it would cost too much.
Yeah.
I think
because I like.
I'm not going to do it now because I might be wrong, but I think I've done it in the past and worked out that the age he must have had Tony Stark at a very late age for that to work. For him to be that age in the 40s, and then to be having a son, the age of Tony, means that he would have been having a kid very late. We won't do it on there. We'll work out off there, but I'm sure that works out really.
Yeah,
well.
no, he's at least 60.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you said don't do it on air, but he's at least 60.
Yeah. What I was going to say, there's that bit of the scene. I love the metamorphosis scene where it looks so kind of movie of yesteryear when he gets into that big tank.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, like
even the way it closes.
Yeah,
and everything. It just sort of
like
chunks into the side and stuff. Yeah. And so when he comes out there, Hayley Atwell. It touches his pec. That was completely improvised.
Yeah, I heard.
She just
She lost the scene. Yeah. She came out of the scene sort of thing and just touched his pec. Yeah, I've heard that.
Because he does look like a fucking god.
Yeah.
Like I say, my mum thought that was the fake bit.
And she just couldn't help herself. Yeah, she broke character and just like. Sorry.
Not sorry.
There's a little bit of there's something in that scene that I've never picked up on before, and it's the bit where they're doing the they're cranking up the power and they hit 70% and he's screaming and they're like, let's stop it, and then he shouts like, no, I can do this, and then they go. I think that's a really good moment of strength. I've never picked up on that before, but that is kind of like, that feels like, I don't know, how can I describe it? He's willing to go through this pain to become this character. It's not like, I accidentally got bitten by this radioactive spider. Like, I did nothing for this. This is like, I will go through hell for my country.
He just wants to do whatever he can do for the country.
And it kind of it's just another little thing of like, he's done something to earn this. Like, he deserves to be Captain America, and I'd never really picked up on that before. It's a really nice touch in the movie.
It's good.
Yeah.
And we were talking about earlier about the cast. Stanley Tucci's fantastic.
Yeah. He is fantastic in everything.
Yeah.
Even in
apart from the Transformers.
the one I've seen in, he is fantastic in it.
Okay.
The film is fucking terrible.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Like what Tooch brings to it is
Okay.
fucking amazing. In that fourth movie, he is fucking bonkers, and
Yeah.
I love that performance.
Remind me, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Okay, cool. I love. Okay, so then after we've had him, get his powers, we have Tooch gets shot, and then Cap runs after the assailant. Now this is a brilliant scene where he does the learning to get his powers scene, but he does it while progressing the plot. Yeah. Like he doesn't do the Peter Parker thing where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna go and climb this. He doesn't have to take time out of the movie to learn what he can do. Because there may be a version of this film or a draft of this film where he then goes back to boot camp. And they're like, a bit like in the Flash movie, a Flash TV show, where it's like, okay, we're at Ferris Air now. Let's learn how fast you can run and all that. Like, there's a draft of that movie where they go back to boot camp and they test Steve Rogers to.
Really?
Well, no, I'm just saying. I imagine there would be.
Okay, sorry.
There's a version of this movie where that happens.
Yeah.
But to save time, they do it within plot progressing, and it's fucking great. Like he's on, he turns the corner and he doesn't know how fast he's running and he crashes. And...
Well, because just before that, the bit that I really love is he's running and you see him look down as if to say, I've never run this fucking fast before. Yeah. I think I can go faster.
Yeah.
And he fucking really starts tanking it.
Yeah.
And then he just goes straight into the bridal shop.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
And then like I said before, we got the leaping onto the cars, which looks hammy but not out of place in this movie. Mm-hmm. Like if you did that in The Winter Soldier, because of the tone of the movie that would look shit. Mm-hmm. But because you're doing it in this kind of earnest movie, fine, it looks great. I just really wanted to salute it for doing it within the chase scene.
Yeah,
like fantastic. Him discovering his powers while chasing the guy. That was fucking great.
Well, he picks up a shield again.
I will say, the taxi,
with a star on it.
Yeah, that's a nice little nod as well. Mm-hmm. I didn't see it coming as well. I just thought the yellow taxi was like, oh, this is cute. It makes it look, like old timely New York. But yeah, when the star on it, that's absolutely great. I must say though, I don't think this film is particularly ambitious on its action scenes. Can you think of anything, like any set pieces that really stand out in this movie? I mean, that one, but...
I quite like the one at the end where he then jumps on the bomber, the suicide bomber, and then that goes out of the plane.
Yeah,
and to get back into the plane, and I quite like that.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe it's just...
I know you dislike the movie when it becomes a montage, but I'm sure there's some pretty good stuff in the montage.
I mean, there's just a lot of motorbike stuff and... things like that. I just can't remember a bit that's like, wow, that was amazing. And it's because that Marvel now have high standards at that. Like every movie is just like, fuck me, that bit was like, that bit was fucking great, and I want to just sit down and watch that movie. But there's nothing in this, so I just want to put on the DVD and go to an action scene. There's nothing that particularly great.
No, because
but that's probably
it's more of a character movie, though. Isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe it's just them finding their feet, and again, they weren't busting the bank to make these movies at the time, were they?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. I just feel like that is a criticism, like as an action film. The action isn't particularly brilliant. The other thing as well, and it just feels like a plot convenience. So I think I'll just get to it and what I'm trying to say. I've been teasing this all the time. I think once Captain America saves Bucky, so everyone knows what we're talking about. He gets the powers. He's then written off by Tommy Lee Jones as just being an experiment.
Yeah, I don't understand why.
So he just does the USO shows.
Yeah.
And then which I love all that stuff. I love that song. I love
all that stuff. Yeah. But I really still don't understand why Tommy Lee Jones writes him off.
No.
It makes no sense. I was promised an army, you only got one. Well, use the fucking one then that you've got.
It's better than nothing.
That's all you're getting.
Yeah, I don't know. It like I said, it's plot convenient.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get onto a bit that's plot convenient at the moment. So he goes through that. Then he ends up, performing to the troops. And while he's there, he hears that Bucky's behind enemy lines, and he goes on a one-man mission to save him. Yeah. Cute, cool. I think once it hits that point and he's met the Red Skull, there's nothing really... You can just turn the film off. There's nothing really... There's a few moments from then on in, and I think it's like, 40 minutes left for the movie to finish?
Yeah.
I just think it just goes off a cliff. And as you keep saying, because you keep quoting me, it's because the second act is a montage. Because they've realised that they spent, and rightly so, all this time setting up Steve Rogers. Yeah. And when he finally becomes Captain America, and I mean not just get the powers, but puts on the hat and takes the shield and actually saves people. That moment that he becomes Captain America, then they've taken so long. The runtime's, they're just eating up so much runtime. They need to now tell the rest of the movie. and they just do it as a montage, and I just think like the film's on rails then, and it's nothing particularly interesting. There's some stuff that's peppered in there. There's another Tommy Lee Jones scene where he's with Zola, which is great.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I just think the movie's just whatever. And I think that about the final battle with Red Skull as well. He doesn't even beat the Red Skull. He just uses the shield, hits the cosmic cube. Red Skull picks up the cosmic cube, and that's it. That's the end.
He gets sucked into space.
I mean, maybe I'd fast forward to the bit where he's talking to Peggy, and they do their big goodbye with Peggy, because that's fucking.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
From there again, it's great because, like I said earlier,
and then you do the modern day stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, now I've got that in mind. I want to just talk about particulars. I think that's why I think that this film has a big problem. Why does Cap pick the Howling Commandos? Like so he's now given the job to kind of beat. Like what does he think was great about the Howling Commandos? That just feels plot convenient to me.
No, because there's the scene. They do have an actual scene where Dum Dum Dugan steals the tank and a couple of guys
kicks
jump
ass
in it,
and stuff like.
and
But is that going to be better than the best and the best that he was going to get assigned?
I think it's just a case of I've seen these guys in action. They.
Yeah.
You know,
better the devil you know.
He's got a pretty cool hat.
I think I just like I said, I think it's because the film has to rush through this stuff. They don't give explanations for these things. It's just like whatever. Like comparing it to Wonder Woman, like Wonder Woman writes in the reason that the team is the ragtag team. Yeah. There's no real reason for him to pick the ragtag team, and to pick Bucky as well, because he's picked these guys who're great, but Bucky's not particularly anyone great. But he gets him on board as well.
Well, because that's because he's his mate.
Yeah.
What they should have done is had that was Bucky's team.
Yes, yeah, but Bucky's become captain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and him, yeah.
Well, not even necessarily captain. Bucky was just part of that team.
Yeah.
Maybe they're all friends.
And they all kick ass.
Well, they're all part of the 107th, aren't they? So they are.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's just most of the 107th is massive, and then he just takes down to an elite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
No, I think there's more than the 107th. Actually, I've just convinced myself otherwise. There's more than the 107th in the POW camp, whatever. Because a couple of guys meet for the first time, like Dum Dum Dugan makes a joke about the racist joke about and he goes up for Fresno. Yeah, the guy that whose grandson ends up in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No, I've talked myself out of that. They don't know each other. Sorry.
Why does Stark use the only vibranium that he has to build a fucking shield? Like. He doesn't know that like it's an accident that Captain America. Who's he building a shield for? What a weird thing to use one of the rarest metals ever.
No, because it's the perfect, as displayed in that very scene. It's the perfect material for a shield because it absorbs vibration. So she shoots it, and the bullets just fall to the ground where they are. They don't bounce off.
Yeah, but maybe you should make body armor.
They do in.
Maybe you should make body armor, or there's 100 applications for that. The front of a tank, or an Iron Man suit. It's just again plot convenient, and it's cute within the context of the movie, and you don't question it because of the tone of the movie. But
what is it in the books? Is it adamantium, or is it adamantium and vibranium?
No, it is vibranium. So
it's always been vibranium.
Someone's gonna probably at home screaming at me when I'm gonna get this wrong, but my understanding is this: in the comics, the shield is vibranium. Everything else that the MCU says is vibranium is actually adamantium, bar Bucky's arm, I think.
Right.
I don't know. All the Black Panther stuff, that's all adamantium in the comics. That's not vibranium.
What?
So.
I thought Black Panther.
No, mine's adamantium. He's got adamantium. I'm sure of that in the comics. And Ultron is not vibranium. Ultron is adamantium.
Yeah, no, I know Ultron is, but... Yeah.
See, this is why I like I said, someone's at home probably screaming at me being like, no, it is vibranium. But I'm sure adamantium comes from Wakanda, not vibranium comes from Wakanda.
Really?
Yeah.
So where does vibranium come from? It's just a shield?
Yeah. And maybe Bucky's arm, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure of that, but again, someone's probably... If you know better, can please write in and let me know.
Yeah, definitely.
Like leave a message, email us.
Yeah.
Going back to the third act, I do feel like the effects feel a little bit green screeny and Sky Captain-ish.
Yeah. I've never seen the movie, but I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, do you think that's a deliberate look, or do you think that was just couldn't complete the...
I think it's a deliberate look.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a good look, but I think it's deliberate.
Yeah. It's not
because the hangers and everything look like that.
Yeah.
Until they then get back outside and in the daylight in the plane.
Yeah.
It just looks like that, doesn't it? I don't know why. As we discovered just before we went on air, that guy directed The Rocketeer as well.
Yeah. It's probably his look, isn't it? Yeah.
Because isn't Sky Captain very much inspired by The Rocketeer?
It's that kind of bomber jackets.
Yeah.
And
so maybe,
yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I just, by the end of it, I was just like, whoa, what's... Yeah. You are right, it is very Rocketeer-y with the kind of, like that bit that you're talking about with the portable bomb that can be flown and flies it back in and all that kind of stuff, yeah. It just kind of took me out of it because it kind of jumped a little bit from a war film to kind of this new look.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But I think it's intentional again to set up stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the last scene then. Nick Fury. That's fucking amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing.
How good does Nick Fury look like? Like, look, he looks so... In that fucking black trench coat.
Yeah.
Fucking turtleneck. Like, that looked like the Ultimates comic.
Yeah.
Like, I
love that whole scene. Like I say, it would have been great if we didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And his realisation when he realises he was at the basketball game that's on the radio.
Baseball.
Which is... Sorry, baseball. Sorry.
Yeah.
Baseball. And it's just amazing. And he runs out and then he's in the fucking Times Square.
Yeah, and it's like he might as well be on fucking, you know, Coruscant. Like, the way he reacts. Is like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
and then
and I love the fact that Nick Fury just turns up and gives him this straight up army at ease soldier.
Yeah.
To say, this is the fucking language he needs right now.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to go and go, hello, calm down.
Yeah.
You know, fantastic. I just love it.
Do you buy that Steve Rogers is a full military man because we don't get to spend... Because his military life was done in a montage?
Because he's always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it down to that. There was one thing that I did think of whilst watching the movie, and I'm not sure how much of it plays out. How long were they at boot camp for? Because, like...
I couldn't
help but think, you know, when he goes on the mission on his own, like, you've not been trained for this. I know you're super strong, but you've not been trained for this.
Yeah.
Like, and then he goes around like he's...
Yeah, because obviously he has the rank of captain,
military...
but that's only just given to him.
Yeah.
Like, he's not earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing. By the third act, you have to buy the fact that he's a vet.
By the third act, I'm happy with because, like I say, that montage is at the very least a couple of months long, maybe longer.
Yeah.
Depending on when does it start? 1942.
Yeah.
It depends on whether or not you believe that the war still ended in.
44. You don't know in this.
Yeah, we don't know.
It's the MCU.
Yeah. So, like I say, at the very least, so by Act 3, I buy that, but I'm just, like I say, in Act 1, I'm kind of like, he's not trained for this.
So, after credit scene then, let's go on to the after credit scene.
Okay, so, you said about the Thor one being the best after credit scene. I think I was more excited by this, but I don't really count it as an after credit scene because it was just the trailer, wasn't it?
No, well, let's forget about the trailer bit. Let's just talk about the boxing bag bit. So the after credit scene is him punching the bags. He's laying into the bags, and then he knocks the bag off. He's in his.
Yeah, but that's a scene from Avengers. So you're not counting that as the beginning of the trailer, are you?
No, I'm going to count that as an after credit scene because we have one similar to that in another movie. So let's just count. Let's forget about the trailer bit. Let's just count that scene.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do any more than what the scene in Times Square does to me. Like, it does nothing extra. I'm disappointed by it, basically. Because he's just like, I want you to say... From me watching, I was like, there's no new information. No,
but then... Surely you've got to look at it as one, because it leads directly into the trailer, and then you're like, that's a great start to the trailer.
Yeah. Okay, is there I'm sure there's a cut that isn't the trailer. Am I talking out my ass?
I don't know, mate, because I saw it in the cinema, and that's what happened. It was that, and then it was into the trailer.
Yeah, and the same as the one that I just pirated. I pirated one last night to watch, and it had the trailer as well. But I'm sure the DVD doesn't. I might be wrong.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
But the trailer, you were excited when you saw that.
Oh fuck yeah! Because like I think I mentioned it last week or the week before. Back then I didn't have the IMDb app, and I didn't have all the things that are available to us now, and I didn't.
So that was your first
look up to it. So like that was my first look at the Avengers, and I was like,
there's bits in that trailer
screaming at the projector room, put on again.
There's bits in that trailer where like it's just little moments like Tony interacting with Thor that just blew my mind. Yeah, it's like they're on the same fucking screen. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah. Oh,
I should have watched it today, but I didn't. I didn't get around to it. To be honest with you, I should have done, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah, I can't remember exactly what else happens in that trailer. I remember seeing Loki in handcuffs and thinking, what's happening here? He's the back. What? Yeah. Like what? I just didn't know. I had absolutely no information. I just knew that we were getting Avengers movie.
So the one shot. Do you remember
what was the one shot on this one?
A funny thing happened on the way to Mexico, whatever it's called.
A funny thing happened on the way to Thor's hammer is amazing. Yeah. I saw that at the same time as I saw the consultants. I can't remember the ins and outs of it, but I remember thinking it was amazing.
I remember having a lot of fun with this, and it like sets up Coulson, and it's great for, and then for Shield, Agents of Shield, and this was the first one I saw, and I was like, oh, this is cute. We're doing this. This is great. Yeah. And the action's great, and it's we're in comedy mode, and so for anyone who doesn't know, it's Coulson stops for gas, goes into a gas station, and then the gas station's being robbed, and for the first time we see this stuffy man in a suit, Agent Coulson, actually get to see his training, and he kicks the shit out of him. Yeah, and it's quite fun. So yeah, great, it's great, really entertaining. However, it's not as good as some of the others because of the fact that it does nothing for continuity or anything like.
That's fine, and that's what I want more of. I want more. I want the one shots to come back, and I want more of that. I just want to see a little bit extra of some of these characters that you don't necessarily get to see. That we are often moaning about underused.
I suppose actually I say that about continuity. I'm wrong because if we went from what we've seen to then watched Agents of Shield, and then like Coulson's a bit of a badass, you'd be like, this isn't in fucking keeping. So at least this
100% is
yeah. So this sets up that he can fucking handle himself. Yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, so the question I always ask you: rank the movies. You've got 5 to go with now. Where does this one sit within the MCU so far that you've watched?
Okay, so remind me of my ranking.
So your ranking is you've gone Iron Man 2, Thor, Hulk, and I've gone, for anyone listening, Iron Man, Thor, Iron Man 2, Hulk.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Obviously, Iron Man being top and Hulk being bottom. Where are you gonna go?
I don't know. Maybe second.
Okay, that's exactly where I'm putting it.
Yeah.
So just to confirm, yours is from Iron Man, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Thor, Hulk.
Yeah, I'm going to say that Thor and Iron Man 2 are pretty much on par.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, it's slightly different. Mine is Iron Man is the best, Captain America is the second best, then Thor, then Iron Man 2, and then...
are you not putting Iron Man 2 and Thor pretty much on par, but just slightly?
Yeah. I mean, that was the hardest one to split, and that's the thing with those 3 movies. I was dreading it going into these weeks because I think that all 3 of those movies are really problematic, and I find that Iron Man 2 is extremely entertaining, probably more so than the other 2. But it has bigger major problems. They really are. It was splitting hairs. Yeah. But I do think that's the ranking for them.
Cool.
Yeah, excellent. Like I always say, don't forget to check us out on YouTube if you want to check out any of our archive episodes. I will link the channel below. I've been Doug.
I've been Dan.
Read more comics.
Big one next week.
It is a big one next week. I cannot wait.
Next week.